So what were we talking? We were talking about the Oscars, the Oscar nominees. We have and Lord of the Rings somehow nominated for 13 awards. 13. It's like an alternate universe where this is happening. It's like the year that American Beauty was nominated, which I didn't like. A lot. I didn't like it a lot. I actually hated American Beauty. And when I was watching everybody on this this congratulatory campaign slapping each other, and I was like, what? The soap was that just that soap opera I just saw? That's the best movie of the year? The movie with a plot twist that's like an episode of Three's Company with the father next door seeing him and he thought he was doing the old with his son, but it turns out he was lifting weights or something like that. That's like an episode of Three's Company where like Mr. Furley is like outside the bathroom and then it's like they're putting up a shower curtain and it's like, oh, get it in there. Oh, we got to fit that in just right. And then Mr. Furley's scandalized outside the bathroom door. That's what American Beauty was. And that was the best movie of the year. Now it's even worse. This is 13 awards, 13 nominations for a movie that's like a... I didn't remember Krull getting nominated for 13 awards, the nominations here. I don't remember You're getting 13 nominations. I don't remember The Sword and the Sorcerer. Was that one of those movies, right? I don't remember that getting nominated. I remember going to see The Sword and the Sorcerer, and we couldn't get to the theater on time, so I had to see Rocky 3. And I didn't want to see Rocky 3. I hated it so much. And but when I was there, it's like somehow those Rocky movies had crowds that like I have never seen since in movie theaters, where it was literally like a race riot was about to if somebody would have just like run to the front of the theater at the Rocky 3 screening and like everyone's all pumped and said, we got it now, let's get out on the street and do something about this stuff. The whole crowd would have followed the guy out and like they would have killed anyone in their path. Like that was like the crowd that the Rocky movies had, where it was like literally people were on their feet. I remember people on their feet screaming at the screen during like when Rocky's fighting Mr. T. Just screaming, like guys, like full-grown adults, like on their feet, yelling at a movie that was filmed a year and a half ago. That no one from Rocky doesn't know you're yelling at him. He's not here. He's off filming Nighthawks now. Or, not Nighthawks. He's off filming. He's on the set of Rambo right now. He's John Rambo. Back there, I had a tank. I operated tanks, helicopters, $1 million equipment. Here, I can't even get a job. Rambo. I remember seeing Kirk Douglas in an interview. He originally was supposed to have the Richard Crenna role in Rambo. And he said, well, when I was presented with the script, I thought it was excellent. Which, I mean, excellent. The script for First Blood. I thought it was excellent. But I said that if I'm going to play this general or this major, then I think someone here has head lice at the station. Another DJ. My head's itching now from wearing these headphones. I got to get my own special pair of headphones. I got to write that in my new little handspring visor here. Hold on one second. I'm going to actually write it while I'm in here. Got to remember the shape of the letters. New thing. Floating event. Oh, that's a B. It's supposed to be a G. That's an O. It's supposed to be a G. Get. Now it's a G. Get. New. Head. Okay, that's an E, a D. It's supposed to be an A. Headphones. F. No, that's an E. It's supposed to be an S. Headphones. Okay, get new headphones because that's a C. It's supposed to be an E because the one at. Should I do the at sign or just the word at? I'll do the word at. At the station. I'm not going to write out are infected with head lice. I'm just going to write out get new. But my head is itching. Showers for every DJ before they come in here. But anyway, in Rambo, in First Blood, so Kirk Douglas is reading it, and he said, I think it was excellent. But I said that if I'm going to play the Major in this movie, it only makes sense that at the end of the movie I kill Rambo. Because I created him, I have to take out my own creation. And at that point, everyone involved with the project probably said, well, thank you, Mr. Douglas, we appreciate that. But we plan on making 11 of these, and we can't we can't keep making them if you kill him in the first one. So anyway, the Rocky movies. No crowds like that. Ever. Before or since. The only time I saw a crowd that crazy. 2 times I went to see Class of 1984 in the movies at a midnight show. And the crowd was just on their feet. It was the movie where the teacher fights back against the students who were like harassing him and like they like killed Roddy McDowell, who like they killed all the like he was like a science teacher. They killed all the animals in his room or something, and then he like fights back in the like one by one at night at the school. He fights this gang led by the kid from this? It looks like the kid from Karate Kid from the first one, that blonde kid, but it's not him. The one whose last name begins with a Z. Zabka. Yeah. What's his first name? Billy. It's not Billy Zabka. I think it was one of the Van Pattens. We're going to imdb.com right now. We're going to find out. Class of 84. Okay. It's class of 1984, I'm sorry. Let me type that in here. Class of... Isn't it exciting hearing me do the things on the internet while the show... Here it is, Class of 1984. Movie that featured Michael J. Fox in a beginning role who was tripping on acid in it and fell off the flagpole, if I remember correctly. He thought he could fly. It was Timothy Van Patten. It was Timothy Van Patten as Peter Stegman, the evil Peter Stegman. And Perry King was the teacher. And so this teacher's going through the school fighting one at a time. The students, like at this big band the big concert for the school band, and the music's playing. And he's fighting this kid in the shop, in the auto shop. And I remember him throwing him onto like this spinning saw on his back, and the kid's like right on his back. And the theater, like people in the theater went up on their feet and were like, "Yeah!" And then he like killed other. I forget how he killed the other. And then finally it comes down to on the roof of the school, on the roof of the gymnasium, he's squaring off with Vincent Van Patten. And Timothy Van Patten. That would have been better if it was Vincent Van Patten. The movie would have been more dear to my heart if he fought against Vince Van Patten on the roof of the school. But he fought against Timothy Van Patten, and he's like, he hits the kid, knocks him into like this the skylight where he's going to fall. He's hanging on by his fingers, hanging on. He's like, help me, teacher. I'm just a kid, teacher. Teacher, help me. And then he helps him, like the Perry King. It gets the better of him, so he reaches out his hand. And then one of the dumber moves is that for some reason the kid tries to slice him with his knife, like he was like a rat, and he was like lying to the teacher with this innocent act. He didn't wait till he was like on his feet to do that. Like when the teacher reached out a hand, he tried to slice him, and then the teacher kicks the kid back down. He goes through the skylight, shattering through as the band's playing. It's like the big part of like the dun 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 bunt 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 boom 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 boom, and they're playing the thing, and then he falls through. A rope hooks onto his neck, and he goes like hangs. He ends up like crashing through the skylight and is hanging around his neck over the head of the band. And then the theater was just... I've never seen every person together on their feet cheering this ending. And the only thing that didn't make sense is that the people in the audience were much more like the kids getting killed than like the teacher. Like these were all the kind of lowlives that were at like midnight shows. And they were on their feet cheering the fact that their own type was murdered by this teacher. But to those type of people, they're not at the movies anymore. What happened? Too many theaters is what it is, I think. There's too many screens right now. Like when I went to go see, I went to the movies, and it was like it was the Harry Potter weekend, and I asked the woman at the box office who, I said, so how was it this weekend? And she's like, meh, not that crowded. Maybe because we had it on 5 screens. It's not like that anymore when you had to wait. I remember waiting to go see Empire Strikes Back for like 6 hours, where it just made perfect sense that you just show up and you like wait online till like you can get in, and it's like there's only a screening every 2 hours at the theater. Boy, those weren't the days. Does any, Oh, enough of my prattling, huh? Somebody emailing me here, please. They're going to say, please shut up. Let's take a guess. I'm requesting that you retell the story about the guitar shop in honor of me becoming unemployed today. Get some headphones. Carrie. Carrie, I don't know what story about the guitar shop. Guitar shop? Tell me what story this is, Carrie, and if it's a story that I actually told, you're not thinking of someone else, like, maybe you're thinking of, like Sean Hannity or someone like that, or, what's that old crank who wrote those things that, like A Christmas Story was based on? Not A Christmas, the one with the kid getting his tongue stuck on the thing. That old crab. I don't know. He had a woman's name. Gene Shepard. Yes. Don't trust any man with a woman's name, but trust women with men's names. It's weird how that works. And if you're a man with a woman's name, I trust you as far as I can throw you. You're not going to see me hand my wallet to a guy named Marion. Oh, this is the definition of punchy. 201-200-9368 is the number. Open Phone Tuesday. We were talking about Lord of the Rings, and then I started talking about seeing Rocky, and then that led to a discussion about headphones and head lice. The record fare is better than airplanes, but the germs are probably worse than airplanes. Unless you were on an airplane full of record collectors.
Where they were showing Lord of the Rings.
Where they were showing Lord of the Rings. I would say on that flight, if I was on that flight and I realized I was like on a chartered plane with like record collectors, and it's like, today's presentation will be Fellowship of the Rings, the first in the... I would say, I think I'm going to leave. And then I would just literally open that door and just take my chances. I would just actually hope I could get sucked back into, like, the propeller, like in that movie Eraser.
Come on, what about, like, Grammy nominations, Lord of the Rings? It's
Nobody
not
respects
as bad as Gladiator. Come on.
Lord of the Rings?
Gladiator is horrible.
Gladiator's better than Lord of the Rings.
Way.
Sure it is.
No
It's a million times better. Isn't it, Dave?
I like you both.
You know Gladiator's better,
That
though,
guy,
right?
as my man Robbie puts it, he's such a meathead.
Let's unleash. What does he say? At my signal. Unleash hell. Is that what he says? Come on, he was the soldier who became a slave, the slave who became a gladiator, the gladiator who, what did he do? He defied an emperor, and then, but he wasn't an emperor though. It's like the order. That movie. I liked Gladiator actually because it's like a just because it's like so stiff and like, come on.
The best part was when that little kid got ran over by the horses. That's about it.
The best part was when he fought.
The action scenes weren't even all that.
No, the action scenes were actually pretty bad. It was like they.
If you're going to see a stupid action film, you might as well rent Commando.
Like they filmed them so poorly, so you couldn't even see anything. It's like the camera moves so quickly, it like pulls away from the action. The best part, I think, was when he fought that tiger, when the tigers jumped out of the ground. Remember that?
Yeah, see, I didn't quite get to the end. I fell asleep.
You fell asleep? You can't. I sat there for all of Lord of the Rings, and now you're going to tell me you fell asleep during? You know what? I'm going to let you get your equipment ready. I'm not going to tie you up any longer. How dare you fall asleep during it, and you're going to actually have a real discussion on it with me. You gotta tough it out, my friend. You gotta I bit the bullet all through the Mines of Moria, all the way through the ring wraiths. I sat there through the whole thing. Even when I knew the end was near, I still waited until it said, directed by Peter Jackson on the screen. I sat there. Well, it's nice to know that tonight was tonight is what we call in the radio business an off night. Wouldn't you call it an off night? Seems like the listeners spoke volumes through their silence tonight. Is something going on tonight that I don't know about? That 80s show? Are people watching that 80s show? Dark Angel? What's that? 24. That show sucks. I tried watching that for like 1 minute, and I was like, there's no way I'm watching every episode of this every week. I checked out of 24 pretty quickly.
The Olympics might be on.
The Olympics. Who actually watches the Olympics, though? I mean, did you watch any of the Olympics? Are you proud of our championship snowboarders?
No. That's not even a sport.
Championship snowboarders were... What's next, though? What's the next sport, though? If the snowboarding is now officially accepted, what's next? Like, you know who?
Fights?
What's that?
Snowball fights?
Snowball fights. That could be next. You know who would be a good Olympic athlete now with snowboard? Vin Diesel could be like a spokesman for the Olympics. Did you see that trailer for that movie Triple X during the Super Bowl? He's like an extreme sports James Bond. Which is maybe like the dumbest idea ever, but it's like the greatest idea. And there's this scene where he has, like the voiceover guy's like, the guy behind, like the director and the star of the Fast and the Furious are back. Like they've teamed up again. Oh, I didn't realize you had your record on there. Small change. I'm sorry, but it's like, and then there's the scene where Vin Diesel has all these guns and like all this equipment and stuff, and then he says to like his mechanic. He's in front of his car. He goes, I want that in this. Like all of that in this car. Like the most souped up car ever. Coming to a theater near you this July. Triple X. And the best show on WFMU is brought to you by Universal Pictures, which is going to present Triple X in theaters this July. And look for Ice Age coming to theaters, another Universal picture. What? Yeah, Shackelford. He's doing it. Anyway, I will get out of everyone's hair, and I'm going to go just shower now. And I'm going to disinfect these headphones. I will be back next week, whether you like it or not. You are listening to WFMU East Orange, WXHD Mount Hope worldwide on the World Wide Web at WFMU.org. Stay tuned for Small Change.